raise his.
Hey, all you can do, right, like the league.
See, it's a great bounce back win for our players. They put a lot into that last game, and after the game, they were really disappointed. But they bounced back with a lot of energy. I was worried about the energy level coming to the game, although it's a big game and the atmosphere was going to be great. They put a lot of energy the whole game, and they pulled out a really nice W to get us back to 1-1 in the league.
Coach, you mentioned practice on Friday. The two of the things you were hoping for was to take them out of their rhythm, and also you talked about shooters can be fickle and hoping maybe they wouldn't be on. It seemed like both of those came through today.
Yeah, I mean, again, all those things are true, but I just thought the energy level we played with, considering how much we spent on Tuesday night, was really important. And in particular, Donnie Lawal has done an unbelievable job being a great leader for these guys. He gets them fired up before the games, and you guys see him get to 21 and 9, but he does a lot behind the scenes with these guys to really keep them pumped up, and I give him a lot of credit for the energy you guys played with today.
With the mind toward the energy level, is that part of the reason you press so much, just to keep things?
Well, I think we can do it. I mean, it's not something that I think you can do a steady diet of. It's probably something that, again, thinking back to Tuesday, I thought I really let us down by not pressing more and not trapping more. But again, I was really happy to see them come back with a great deal of energy and play against a very, very good team.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, you talked about playing a game like this, up-tempo, pressing almost the whole game, running. It seemed like you kind of got away from that. Is this what we're going to see going forward?
I hope so. Some of it has been just a lack of execution on our part, lack of concentration. Some of it has been, again, just my judgment. Again, the judgment on Tuesday was not right. It wasn't good. But we can do it. I mean, you're not going to be able to go out and do this every single night because there are some easy baskets you give up, and the players in this league are really skilled. But today, it was good enough for a 4-point win.
Is it easier to do this at home than it is on the road?
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I mean, that's an adage. But when we've had pressing teams in the past, whether it's CN or even early on here, if you guys are focused and just keep it simple and just stick to the plan, you can do it. There were a couple times in the first half. There was one time Brian Oliver left. I think it was singular run up to Zubek. I'm saying, well, why are you doing that? He got an easy basket out of it. So just a matter of anything else, just concentrating. One of the things I got to be mindful of is that, you got 4 young guys that are in the rotation, and sometimes they got to understand how important every detail can be.
You said Tuesday night that you feel the team has a high ceiling. Do you think that the team itself needed a game like this, a win like this, to prove just how much it can do?
I think they know how much they can do. They know how much they can do. But it's a great confidence boost to get a win like this because they're going to go out there and everybody's going to pat them on the back and tell them how great they are. And I'm glad I got Ghani in the locker room to remind them that, hey, as soon as you drop one they, quote, aren't supposed to drop, they're going to disappear again. So this team has a high ceiling. I said that from the beginning of the year. I feel good about what we're capable of accomplishing. But again, attending the details are going to be really important for this basketball team. And you can see, in the last minute we tried to run that play, and instead of going left, our point guard goes right, so we had to burn that last timeout and got ourselves settled back down and got the ball where we wanted to get it. I didn't want to call that timeout, but we had to because we were about to have a busted play on our hands. It was too important to get a good shot. And we used the timeout, got ourselves together. Ghani got the ball and made a big time shot.
Was that the play you called in the timeout for Ghani tournament?
Well, we wanted to get him on the block, but and the way we did it, we did it. We had another way when we came out of the huddle the first time, but again, we went right instead of going left. But like I said, it ended properly in the right way. We got a good shot.
Coach Favors,
a lot of energy at halftime. What did you tell them at halftime?
Nothing. It was about the whole game. We talked about just playing with energy and effort, especially if you're going to play 94 feet like we planned on playing today. So it was just simple adjustments. Just a couple things we did wrong under pressure, a couple things we did wrong offensively to then keep the energy level high.
Can you just talk about how this team went from losing to Georgia to beating Duke in these 4 days? I know you didn't want them to think too much about that game, but it seems like they must have really taken it personally. And
sports. I mean, it's just the way it is. If I had to say why we lost that game, it's because we didn't press as much as we should. And also I don't want to take any credit away from the Georgia players, because sometimes people look at the loss through the lens of what happened with the other team as opposed to giving the other team credit. You know, I said after the game that we played poorly, and I felt bad about saying that because it makes it sound like Georgia didn't do what they were supposed to do. They did what they were supposed to do. But I personally felt like there were certain things that we should have done, you know, in the half court to turn up the pressure, in the full court to turn up the pressure. I didn't do it. And after the game was over, I felt like I let these guys down.
Coach, it looked like you made a major adjustment with your offense, bringing up the big to pick and attack the basket from the center of the court rather than running it from the side with the weak side pass.
Well, that was the case, honestly, that we didn't execute. We were supposed to do that against Georgia as well. And for some reason, we weren't executed, so we worked on it the last couple of days. Because that's a good play for us when you get him on now that he's healthy. You know, first game you play on adrenaline, second game you're a little rusty. I was talking to Doc Rivers yesterday. He was talking about his guys going to come back from the injury. Third game you kind of get them back into a rhythm. And we felt like he was back in a rhythm. We tried to run that against Georgia. And again, talk about paying attention to detail. We didn't on that set. And we did today.
Do you feel like it spreads the offense more when you keep the wingman out?
Well, he's such a good player. Amon is so big and so athletic in the middle of the floor. If you get him in the middle of the floor, matched up against a big, I think you can get something out of that.
How did you guys limit Sigler so well today?
You know, he's a great player. I had a chance to coach him in the under 18 out in San Antonio when he was I think he was going to senior in high school. I think just he had an off night. I mean, we were contesting shots, but he had an off night, off day, I should say.
Oh, there was a huge difference on the glass between the halves. I think it was 2012 Duke in the first half, 28-12 in the second. Is there any schematic explanation for that?
No, just
flashing.
Yeah, just going after it. And again, just something that we've got to do. And you look at our team, we're long, we're athletic. We should be able to get ourselves a lot of second shots. That is one thing we did talk about at halftime, that we got to get to the glass and get as many second shots as we possibly can.
Krzyzewski talked a great deal about Zach Peacock and being a guy that could start for a lot of teams. Is he a difficult take for anybody coming off the bench, especially?
Yeah, he is a matchup problem, and you know I give him credit because in most teams he should be starting or would be starting, but you know he understands what we're trying to do. We're trying to get these two big guys going early. He's a tough matchup, definitely.
That play where he came up with the ball, you know, move on. I guess it got hit on a three-pointer air ball.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. I mean, again, he's been playing really well. Since Puerto Rico, he's been playing really, really well.
Coach, you made a lot of key free throws going down the stretch, something that may not have happened last year. Yeah, how big is that for this team this year?
Kids have been working at it. I mean, since the middle of last year, we've been a pretty good free throw shooting team. And it's no question that it cost us some games at times early in the year, which maybe cost us some momentum. But they've been working at it. I mean, Ghani especially, again, you just see the maturation, see the maturity of him, and part of where you see the maturity on the free throw line. Last Saturday was 17 to 20, I think, and made all of them down the stretch. So, you know, we've done some different things, and we played some little free throw games to improve that. And they do it. They give the guys credit. It's one thing to talk about what you have to do. It's another thing to go out and work and get better. They've worked.
Are there games when you are these one possession type games or swing possession games coming down the last minute? Are there games when you sit on the stand in your face on the sideline and say, I like the way we look today, or I don't like the way we look today, or is it just a possession by possession thing?
Well, certainly the matchups you're trying to get, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, Mufan Yadofa made some plays today. You're talking about a guy who coming out of high school, people say couldn't shoot. He comes in a big time game, makes 3 out of 6 from 3. Sometimes guys just got to make plays. And that's one of the things I admire about John Shire. You know, people can sit and say, well, he can't blow a ball, he can't do this. He's a big time player. He makes plays. And at the end of the day, you need guys that will step up and make plays. And Mufan today made plays. I know Iman will be capable of making plays as he finds his rhythm. Obviously, the matchup or getting the ball with Ghani in that last minute was important, and he made the play. But sometimes it's about a guy just making a play.
Coach Favors struggled a lot in the first half, but talk about the way he recovered in the second half. Was able to get a couple field goals, get to the line.
You know, it's funny. You're talking about a guy who's one of the best guys I've had a chance to coach. I mean, he's an absolute pleasure to coach. And it's really interesting. Everybody gets on these blogs and everything, talk about he should be this and he should be that. They just forget. The kid just turned 18 July 5th.